Hey, welcome back.
Hi.
It's
Bonjour.
part 4, I think.
Maybe.
Part 4.
How much have you guys had to drink already?
Not that much.
I've only had 2 beers.
I've had 4.
Wow, lucky dog. Okay, I've really had 3. I just didn't want to admit it.
Listen, I could have a whole 6-pack on me and get that shit. I don't care.
Well, I'm admitting what I had.
Oh, I know. You're just like, I've had so much.
Dude, no, beer hits me way different than liquor. Like, liquor I can drink for a hot minute.
Dude,
before I'm
I'm
like,
same.
the same
or
way.
it's like, okay,
Same.
I'm not drunk. But like,
Didn't we have
beer,
this conversation the other night?
Yes. Yeah, we
beer
did.
hits in and you're like,
So we're all then maybe that's a common thing. Maybe
I
it is
know.
common.
My sister was just telling me. Okay, so her fiance, he's like, I literally can't drink liquor. Like I get so drunk so quick, and like I get so fucked up. But you literally give me a 24-pack of beer, and I'll drink all of them before I get a buzz. And I envy that because it's so much cheaper than buying a bottle of liquor and downing it myself before maybe having fun.
Well, I guess it also depends on what your end goal is. Well, then is 24 beers really cost effective? If 24 beers gets you buzzed,
I mean, listen, I'll
Is
go
it
buy.
cost
I
effective?
can go buy a $12 bottle of liquor.
12 bottles of
12
liquor.
bottles.
I
I would.
love-
I've done it. Listen, those little tiny shots are no joke. They're amazing. I love
They
them.
are, but if I'm gonna buy myself liquor, I'm gonna buy
buy the
myself
whole
a
bottle.
gallon, okay? Like,
If I'm on a night that I don't
what's
know
a what?
a gallon.
a gallon.
A gallon?
Yeah.
You mean a handle?
Yes.
Okay.
What if I don't know what I want to drink?
You just
I'm
make it
gonna
up
go
as
buy
you
a
go,
ton
alright?
of little dollar shots because like they have
you
different
experiment
alcohol
with liquor.
content.
You experiment. Okay, you go
I've
buy yourself some
experimented
vodka,
with
or
so
you
much
got
liquor,
whatever your
and
favorite drink
sometimes I'm
is.
just craving
Mine
a
is
few
vodka.
things.
Go
Mine's
get yourself some
vodka.
drink.
And when are you
then
gonna make us breakfast
mix it.
smoothies?
When y'all want breakfast
Every day?
Okay, no, not every day.
I would.
No, yes, you would, and I don't want that every day.
No, I just mean
That means-
okay. By every day, I mean any day. Any day you're willing to bring me a breakfast smoothie.
I would every day. Okay, there's a difference between me and y'all.
This woman is trying to take my spot as the friend to alcoholic group.
No, she already has.
I know she has, because I've stopped drinking.
She's made me feel a lot better about myself because people have accused me of being an alcoholic, and then
Yeah,
now
I
that I've
am.
talked to Jenny, I'm like, oh, no,
That
I'm
is an
not. I'm not an alcoholic.
alcoholic.
Never mind.
I am the alcoholic. My
Never
mom's
mind.
like, my mom
I just like
talks to my
drinking.
mom.
There's completely difference.
I'm
I mean, I love
I'm an
drinking
alcoholic
too.
connoisseur.
Alcoholic or alcohol connoisseur?
Alcohol
connoisseur.
Yeah, I'm a connoisseur of alcohol.
Yeah, we connoisseur.
I'm a
None of us
connoisseur
are
of alcoholic
alcoholics in this
beverages.
group.
I don't care how much I've had to drink.
Off
I
screen.
still will always taste it. I am definitely still an alcoholic because I'll be like, I still need 5 more beers after these 5 other beers. So,
5 more. Like, I'm on my 5th one. I'm like, do I want another beer? Now, granted, when I used to drink all the time, the answer was definitely yes.
I
need,
know,
like,
because I
12.
joke
I
would be
mean-
drinking and I'd be like, here's more beer, and then we'd drink more beer.
Dude, yeah, when she was my roommate, or whatever that
Well,
was.
yeah, when we were roommates too, and when I was your boss.
Dude, wait,
And
back in
Jacob-
Nashville?
Yeah, and Jacob was
Yeah.
constantly
Oh, man.
providing alcohol because it was, I don't know what he was doing, but we were getting it for free from work all the fucking time.
So, okay, he worked for Electronic Express, and Brentwood is like tippy top, you know, like
It was very
everybody
risky.
has money
Yeah,
it was
there.
very
So
risky.
he managed the store in Brentwood, so that store automatically held the events, and they would serve alcohol. And if
At
they
all
had
of
like
them.
an abundance of alcohol, they would send it home with us. So we'd come home with like bottles of wine and cases
Of
Wow.
beer. Of beer that I've never heard of in my life. And I was like,
crazy
dude.
fancy
Oh,
shit.
oh yeah,
It was
yeah,
awesome.
microbrews.
Yeah, that was freaking amazing.
It was awesome.
And so, like, her and I were just constantly
We were
pounding
joking
them
all
down.
the
Just
time.
fucking-
I'd be like, hey,
Dude.
that's all we have in the fridge. Let's
Oh my
get
god.
drunk.
Oh my god. I know
Who
we're
needs
having
water?
this conversation. I get it. I hate to completely at the same time I don't because I'm doing it, so I don't actually
Just
hate
do
it.
it.
But I really we talked about this the other night. I really wanted you to talk about living in Texas on the show.
He did want to
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah, hold on. I'll even trade my seat out so that you're here. I want you to talk about Texas.
Hold on, let me bring my
talk
beer
about,
on set.
Talk about living on Texas.
Living on Texas.
Living
Well,
in
I
Texas?
just,
on Texas land.
On the land of Texas.
I mean, what do you want to know? Because I mean, I went through like the general basis of it. while I
Well, yeah,
was
yeah.
here.
Start from the basis. Like, start from
The fact that they
how did you
literally
even
run
wind
up-
up there?
Okay, so my mom left my real dad when I was 4, and my mom, when she She will be back next week. She's just decided she's moving back from Texas to Tennessee again.
Whoa.
When my mom feels like,
I know.
are my siblings gonna hear this?
Well, it's also this is gonna come out months from, or not months from
It'll
now,
be
but
Yeah, weeks.
It'll be fine.
it could be about a month or two. This will be about a month or two away.
It'll be totally fine. So, my mom just packs up and moves wherever. I've lived in Arizona, I've lived in Texas, Iowa, New Mexico, you name it. I've probably lived there. Okay, it's really sad, but I spent the majority of my life from 4 to 12 living in Texas. We had cowboy churches. You literally ride a horse to church. You hitch it in the barn. Okay? You do. You literally, and they've got rodeos at church. Shit's crazy.
Co-host, I'm not on camera. You have to be host now.
The only thing I have for that is that is the most insane.
It was
Thank you.
amazing.
I
Okay,
can't have a reaction.
loved
I already
it.
had the reaction. I need you to have the reaction.
Like, okay, we
Why?
see Amish people here riding around in their carriage and
I'll be
buggies.
right back.
That was us on horses.
Yeah.
That was us on horses, riding around like carriage and buggy here for the Amish. Like, that's just a Texan thing there. They're just riding around on their fucking
So like,
horses
okay, so
instead of
I had a
cars.
moment with a horse in Tennessee where like I was at a gas station. I just
wasn't
walked
one
there.
of mine, right?
No.
Okay.
Walked there, and some random person was just trotting along on the horse past the gas station. And because I assume in Texas it's probably a little different, maybe they do
It's
see this
normal
going.
there.
Yeah, like here it was just like, what the hell?
I actually
and
seen
so
that a
we
few
were
weeks
just
ago.
during that time we were. doing
I
this,
knew your thing,
So-
yeah.
So like, to us, we looked at each other and was like, how high are you right now? It's like, what do you mean? It's like, did you see that horse? It's like, yeah, I did. Okay, cool.
Well, it's legitimately a normal thing there. And if you're driving, like everybody has a pickup truck. I swear to God, everybody has a pickup truck, and they will wear a cowboy hat. Not an exaggeration. And if there is something in the road, it's like Emory, Texas area.
Okay.
So
maybe
like
the
really
Panhandle
small
area?
town. No, I'm like, if I were to leave today, I'm 13 hours away from my hometown.
Okay.
So it's a good ways. And like here where people are like, oh, I have a nice car, I'm gonna swerve out of the way if they see something in the road. No. Texans will be like, oh shit, let's hit it. It's like a point system there. If you hit something else, someone's bumper fell off, you're gonna fucking hit it.
Why do I want to fuck up my car?
They don't give a fuck.
No. That's not okay.
I swear to God, it's a real thing. Like if you're driving behind someone and all of a sudden they swerve, they have hit an object.
Okay.
They have not missed it on purpose. They have legitimately swerved to hit it.
So then the next part, let's continue with this. So you lived in not one horse town. You lived in a town full of horse people.
Yeah, pretty much.
That wanted
Town
to
full of
go
horse people.
freaking do whatever they're doing. All right, so continue. So you had to go to church on horses.
I mean, we didn't have to, but there are cowboy churches that if you were one of those people, you grew up on a farm or something like that, you definitely rode your horse to church. Like those were your people.
So elaborate. What is a cowboy? What's the difference between a cowboy church and an actual church?
You literally ride your horse to church. Everybody goes in with their like cute little button-ups with their pearl buttons, like really
The wee
classic
little sash
looking.
things.
Yeah, like you're dressed up for your rodeo. And they will legitimately hold rodeos. They will hold.
They hold rodeos at the church?
At the church. They will literally go camping. They'll be like, we're taking a camping trip. Like Boy Scouts will be like taking a camping. No, this is the whole fucking church getting together to go on this trail ride and go camping for whatever reason. They're just like, let's just go on a ride and like take all of our camping shit with us.
So for you, okay, this is an experience that you grew up for. What did you say?
4 to 12.
4 to 12. Okay, so you grew up with this experience for 8 years.
Yeah.
And I want to point out that in this process, I went to a camp group or camp moment where we got to ride horses, and that was like one of those like highlight of my moment, like of my life. Where it's like
This
we
is
got to
your
go ride on a
daily
horse.
life.
we
I
got to
remember
go do
that.
things.
I remember
But
that.
For you, this was a moment of life that was just like, why is that exciting to you? This is a day-to-day
Yeah,
thing.
because for me it was a day in, day out kind of thing. I got up, I'd go get the eggs, I'd go get like the cow milk, I'd feed the rabbits, because we have rabbits, like we bred them and
Screw
ate
rabbits.
them. It was
Okay, I
amazing.
hate rabbits. They're
We
terrible.
ate them. We bred them, slaughtered them, and ate them for dinner.
No!
They're amazing.
I don't
They
like
taste
them, but I'm
great.
not gonna eat
And when
them.
they're raised in captivity, they're not quite as gamey, so it's wonderful.
They're fat and fattening.
They're so good. But like I grew up like that. So then you get on your horse and you go to fucking church like every other civilized American who rides horses. In
that's so Texas. Only every other civilized Texan. Because the rest of the world doesn't do
Austin
that.
Didn't even know that Texas could still secede if they want to.
Yeah, that was a totally thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that they have it in their law.
Yeah, that's
that,
still
like in their agreement as part of the union.
Yeah, they could literally just leave at any point they want
They're
to.
like, bitch,
Yeah,
bye
that's
US.
insane to me.
Texas is gonna say.
I'm
bye,
glad.
US.
I'm glad they held on to that right.
It's so unique.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Texas.
Yeah,
Like,
because
I
it's
don't
very
honestly-
Texas.
I
It's
don't
very
think they would
Texas.
ever use it, but it's so unique for them. Y'all, is Alaska bigger than Texas? Because I read that.
Alaska is bigger than
Alaska's
Texas.
way
Yeah.
bigger than Texas. Alaska's
Well, see,
really,
but
But-
they have to have something. So
But
they
it's
can still,
less
like-
inhabitable.
yeah.
This is true.
Alaska is freaking huge.
Exactly.
This is
Alaska's
true.
huge, but it's less inhabitable. More of Texas can be inhabited,
You see,
and the
all of
population of
You know,
Texas is.
because like you're not the only one. Okay, so I was watching some Europeans that were commenting on what's the biggest state in America, and a lot of them actually were like Texas. And it's like, no, that is not the biggest
Well,
state.
okay, so growing up in Texas, let me just tell you, you learn that Texas is the biggest state.
It's probably not even the most populated, but it's the biggest state that's attached to the mainland.
And that's probably it. Or the fact that it is the most inhabitable, like, space
Per area wise, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of get that. But yeah,
All right, so
we learned that.
so let's continue a little bit more. Let's
But,
delve
you know,
a little
I
bit more
learned
to
more
that.
about Davy Crockett here than I did in Texas.
Yeah, because Davy Crockett's from Tennessee.
He's from Tennessee. Yeah. The
But it was
one
the
thing.
Alamo. I learned everything.
Yeah, I was
about
gonna say the
Alamo,
one
and they're
thing
like,
that he
"Don't
has
fucking
in
talk
Texas
about
is that he
Davy."
went to the Alamo.
They don't want to hear about Davy Crockett. They're gonna be like, "We're gonna tell you everything."
They're gonna
Right,
about Alamo.
because he was like the only guy from Tennessee that
Yeah,
showed
They're
up.
going to talk about their other generals that
They're
were actually
only
part of
going
there.
to tell you about the people
From
from
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, that
They're
makes
from
sense.
Alamo.
And then
That's
do we
true.
tell in Tennessee we don't teach anybody
I
about
don't
the
know.
other people of the Alamo?
You know, going
I
to
know
school
no other
here,
freaking person from
It was
there.
like prying teeth to get the teachers to be like, "Oh yeah, the Alamo's in Texas." Like,
That's
I know.
weird.
But
No, but like, because like in Tennessee,
you
I
only learn about Texas.
I knew who Davy Crockett was, but I didn't know who any of the other generals or leaders, because he wasn't even a general. He was just a guy.
He was just a volunteer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
went
That's
there.
exactly what he
So,
was,
like-
and that's the whole thing with Tennessee. But in each individual state, I think it's really funny because they only focus on their history.
Yeah, my question is, how many other states actually know about Davy Crockett?
Like probably none.
Like, because when I lived in
Like,
Florida,
let's be real.
because alright, so I lived in Florida from like kindergarten to like second grade maybe, and then when I came here, that was the first thing I learned was about Davy Crockett. So like, and that was still elementary. So I was like, why did my elementary not tell me anything about Davy Crockett
Because
as a person?
it's not their states. Like it has nothing to do with.
Well,
them.
what about Johnny Appleseed? Did you learn about him anywhere else, or did you learn about him here?
Here.
I learned that in Texas.
You learned that in Texas?
Hey,
Yeah.
okay, so let me just
I
tell you,
don't
when I
learn that
moved
about
up
here.
here, I will tell you one thing. My grading standpoint was higher there. When
Oh, yeah,
I moved
no.
up here, I was literally 3 grades ahead of everybody in my class. It was insane. And like, I literally looked at the teacher and I was like, I've already learned all this. And I was like, well, you'll just have to do it again. Like,
Oh, fun.
So
I don't
why would I have
want
to
to.
relearn what I've already known? Right, like.
because I mean, I think at that point they didn't really do the whole like grades jumping ahead, or like I wasn't good enough in this subject to move forward in the other
So you weren't
subjects.
in
It was
honor
really
classes?
stupid.
It's okay, I wasn't in honor classes either.
Like, I get my math sucked, okay? Everything else was flawless, and 3 grades in a fucking head.
On the subject of you living in Texas, have you gotten into the land your mother bought?
No,
Did you get that
I've
far?
been trying to pry her more information.
I would love to
while
get. I would
interrupting.
love to
That's why
get
I
into
was like,
that.
Guide me in the direction that you're wanting to hear.
I'd love to get into that. So
So-
you moved to Texas because your mom moved there.
Yeah, so my mom, when we first got out there, decided she wanted acreage. You know, we grew up on a farm. Anywhere we've lived, we've had a farm. We've had
Yeah, you
animals.
have.
We've had.
Everywhere.
I know, literally. So she was like, I need property. So we go and buy 5 acres.
So I met you like 4 years after you came here.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that long after I got up here.
Okay,
But
so continue.
we had enough money to buy a trailer house. So a single wide trailer. So it was 2 bedroom, 2 bath. Like, yeah, I have 7 sisters, okay? So that's crazy.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
But like, it
Knowing
gets
your family
crazier.
size.
It gets crazier. We had enough also to put in a septic system. So we had water. We did not have electricity. We had a wood burning stove I want to say it was like 2 years, to be completely honest. For 2 years, we only had a wood-burning stove and kerosene lanterns. So, like,
That's the life.
That's literally how we lived. We didn't have electronics. So as a child who grew up in a generation of like ever-changing electronics, I didn't have any of those.
You're just like, what's electronics?
They're like, hey, my friends would be like, do you want to come watch TV? And I'm like, what?
You got a TV? What is that exactly? Isn't that rich people thing?
Like, granted, I was 4 when we left, so like I didn't really have a whole lot of experience with it. I was like, fuck yeah, I want to come watch TV as soon as I found out what a TV was. Yeah.
What is that? It's a tube that I watch. Like,
So then, because also we didn't have electricity, we had water, we had heat, but we didn't have electricity. So like, how are we gonna heat up our water, especially during the summer? So the summertime, my mom went and got a bathtub, and it's like the 3-in-1, whatever, where it's got your tub and it's got like the shower walls or whatever, and your shower head, and we hooked it up and strung it through the backyard with a water hose. So like you would have to go from the house to like 3 acres back. So the water would be heated by the sun in the hose, so we would have hot water to take our showers.
But it wasn't even hot. It was like tepid water.
No. Have you ever been into Texas? It's fucking hot.
Oh, it's hot in Texas, but like I just couldn't see that water being truly that hot.
Let that water sit. Honey, you can do it out here. Let that water sit in the hose for a good 6 hours of the day. Like, turn it on, but have one of those nozzles that it turns off so the water literally sits in the hose. Okay? It gets hot. Like, almost burn your skin off hot.
See, the thing is, I just don't see it. Okay, mainly because, like, mine is nowhere near your same experience by any means. But living in Florida,
I grew up poor, okay?
I get that. But like living in Florida, I
wouldn't even say poor. Like, honestly, we weren't
Yeah, I
that
don't- I
bad
would say
off.
you had land.
It was just unique.
good land, which is probably richer than most. Anyway,
It was unique for a childhood experience. And we had horses out there, and we had cats, like 16 cats.
you were a cat lady before you were a cat lady.
Yeah, so the reason being, we've always kept cats, and that's in largely part due to it keeps field mice away, so we wouldn't get mice in the house, and it keeps snakes away, so we didn't get snakes in the house. We did one time, we chopped it up into 4 pieces and put it in the burn barrel. It was amazing.
Oh, I thought you were about to say you ate it. I was ready for that. You guys ate the snake.
My mom wouldn't let us. I'd be like, because my brother-in-law would always be like, let's try a snake, and I'd be like, I'm down, and my mom would be like, put it in the burn barrel.
You had what's a burn barrel? Explain that.
So like the big metal barrels,
Like you see in like.
like toxic waste looking barrels.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's
Okay.
a burn barrel.
Okay, so like things you'd see in movies if you don't live in that lifestyle that you had, apparently.
Yes.
Like hobos warming their hands over this barrel.
Yes, except that's what you have in the country. Like if you can't always get your trash out of the curb, you just burn it.
Okay.
Like cardboard, paper,
You know what?
anything like that.
I'd
you
say
just
that
burn
as if
it.
I've never seen it in real life. My neighbor, you remember Gabby? They had a burn barrel.
Burn barrel.
I only saw it once and it threw me off. I never acknowledged it again. But okay, continue. So, Texas lifestyle. You lived on how big was the land?
It was 5 acres.
5 acres, and you had a freaking trailer.
We had a
Double wide?
trailer.
Single wide.
Single wide.
Continue. Sorry.
I mean, what are you wanting to know? 'Cause
I just want to know.
How did you guys take showers?
Yeah, because you said you did the water with a hose.
I mean, so it was a wood burning stove. We would just heat the water on it, and we would take a bath.
Okay, you take baths.
Yeah. I mean,
Weren't
unless it was
you-
summer, and then we could take it outside.
Yeah, didn't you tell me at one point you had
Outside?
bought an actual like shower, but you had it outside, like a
Yeah,
like a
that's what I
shower
was
where
just
it's like the
telling you
three sides
That's-
That's what she
Honey,
was
how much
saying.
have you had to drink?
I wasn't paying attention. I was making sure the camera was working.
We literally.
So the
So
shower
that's
was
already been
outside.
covered. Then okay,
Yeah,
I've already
it's
heard
been
it.
covered.
I was just
I
making
didn't
sure it
know
was covered.
outside. That was
It
outside.
was outside.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. I'm glad that I brought it up again then.
Like, Jesus. Okay, so how?
And that's what the water hose was for.
Yeah,
was
how-
so that
how
the
con-
shower
how
would be
connected
warm.
To that was like, so you said outside. Did you guys build a
No, it was just
structure for
we
it?
just stood the bathtub in the backyard.
Was there curtains around it or anything like that?
I mean, it had the 3 walls, and then we put a shower curtain on it, like.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So it was
So
it was covered.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
were just like butt ass naked in the middle of the
I mean,
field.
we run
Just
around
like,
butt ass naked anyways. It was
But I
5
mean, you're
acres of
5
field.
acres in the middle of the desert.
pretty much. Like, nobody's gonna see us.
Yeah, exactly.
So my mom, like, we would go. We were in a 4-year drought right before I moved out here, but before that, we had a good, decent bit of rain, and so our front yard was clay, like muddy clay, because that's Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We would go strip down to nothing and go take mud baths in the front yard, which is great when you can't take a fucking bath.
How? Let's reverse that. Like, I like to feel clean after I shower. You're like, mud baths are great if you can't take an actual bath
That
with
was
water.
sarcasm. Like, now I'd be like, this is mortifying. But also, like, because we can only do that so many times a day because of how much the sun is out. Like, all of us had to shower together. Okay, so like we're probably not getting.
So you're looking at 7 siblings punching each other in the face trying to get in the water.
No, usually like 4 of us.
Okay, so you took like
Team shower.
yeah. I don't even know the word I'm looking for. That's insane. All of it's crazy.
The question I do have is, so single wide trailer. What was the living situation of the 7 siblings?
Okay, so for the most part, my older siblings would kind of check in and out because the youngest of the oldest siblings is 10 years older than me.
Okay.
So at this point, they're basically moved out. They
Yeah.
just kind of like pop in whenever. So it was.
Yeah. So the two oldest weren't always there. 3 oldest weren't always there.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Like, and I mean, occasionally my mom had like a live-in babysitter or something because she worked 2 to 3 jobs. Like
That
that's-
live-in babysitter though.
Man, live-in babysitters fucking suck when they're all assholes and you know nothing about them. Like, fucking hate them. But
I give her kudos though. Living in that. Continue though.
my mom hired like the trashiest people.
Cheap.
They're
It's
just
called cheap
desperate
labor.
for money.
Cheap labor.
That's literally it. And I feel bad. Sorry, Mom, I love you, but like, yeah, my mom was. It was like child labor laws except for adults. It was bad.
It's like I can pay you $13.
But the poor
All right,
babysitter would be like,
so-
you can't do this and you can't.
So
do
there was
that.
4 of you at the house.
Yeah, there was 4, me and the 3 youngest, and then my mother, and then half the time a live-in babysitter who sometimes did and did not have children, just depending on the situation.
Yeah. Okay. So then wait. What was the situation where? So I assume the 4 of
so
you
the
shared
majority-
one bedroom.
No, okay, so the majority of the time it was me and my 3 siblings and my mother, because one of my oldest sister would live, somewhat close with her husband. And so it would be me and Trudy in one room and my mom and my 2 youngest sisters in another room. And so, I mean, that's just for the most part. And then, like, live-in babysitter would always stay on the couch if they were there.
Okay.
Her kids would, they'd be like, well, we're going to take over the bedroom. And me and my siblings would be like, we'll fucking stab you kind of shit. 'Cause, like, that's our place and we've already dealt with y'all's bullshit. So, it was probably not a good childhood, like, at all times.
Okay. I have one more. I have one more big question now that. So what was the most, from your memory? What was the craziest thing that ever happened while living in the 5 acres in Texas? The craziest thing that ever happened.
I can't really honestly say there's really been that much crazy. To be honest.
Okay, what was the craziest one though?
Well, you just explained the whole situation of crazy.
Right.
Listen, listen, on
the
like,
worst. What's the worst thing that happened while living out there? I guess would be the better way to put it.
When we first moved out there, my mom brought a camper and stayed out there for a few weeks. And like we had 4 raccoons get in, we had to shoot them.
They just shoot raccoons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they were in the house, so like we had to shoot them. And
Your
just,
mom
like,
shot them?
Yeah, we just piled them in garbage bags and took them out.
Right on. What was the most fun thing you remember about living out there on the 5 acres?
So my favorite, it's a childhood memory that I absolutely love and adore. So my best friend is Micah. I love you, Jen. Sorry.
I know who my kids are.
I know. The beautiful little Mexican chick that I
She's
love and adore.
adorable.
She is so freaking cute. Anyways, so I was always sleeping over at her house, or she'd always come over and sleep with us. Cause like, so she's Mexican. They have a ton of people in their house anyways. Don't be mad at any race this way. It is completely factual.
That's
But-
just how it is, yeah. I've lived with Mexicans. That's just how it is.
So like she'd always have people, extra family, extra friends there. So like it didn't bother me to stay there, and it never bothered her to come stay at my house because like we're kind of the same. Like there's always other people there. And she'd come over for one weekend, and my mom had gone and got the little 4 or 5 foot pools, just a little like blow up ring around the edge, and you fill it up, and we put it on a tarp in the backyard, and about 10 foot away was the horse fence. Well, we had a really bad habit of taking all of the chutes in the house that we could find available, tying them in knots, throwing them out the trailer window and sneaking out when my mom would go to bed and be like, don't go swim in the pool, don't go ride on the horses. And that is exactly what we did every single time I had her over. I mean, literally every time. We'd sneak down our rope of sheets.
Out of
the
trailer window.
Dude, those trailer windows are so small.
That's why I had to mention that. It's like out of a trailer window.
But I mean, look at my size.
Yeah, and then as a
and
kid.
we're kids.
Yeah.
So like this window couldn't have been bigger than that. I'm just telling you, it's not big at all. But we had a bunk bed, so like it was right there at the window, and we could just throw the sheets out of it and climb down because it was all knotted where we tied it. And then my mom would come in and be like, "Y'all went outside again last night. Don't know what you're talking about." But one time we flooded the pool because we were like, "There's not enough water in here," and like turned the pool water on. Man, we flooded the whole backyard under a drought, which means you're not supposed to actually use that much water.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I just love the idea that, you know, like normal kids growing up in this situation where it's like don't go outside, don't go to, instead of being like don't go out and ride the horses and swim in the pool, it's like don't sneak out to your boyfriend's house, don't do this.
Well, be your 5 acres in the middle of the desert.
I know.
That's not going to be a normal circumstance.
That was normal for me growing up,
I
okay?
know, it's so beautiful. It's so honestly
Innocent?
innocent. Yeah, I love it.
Bye!
Oh, boy,
Any
we
final-
didn't sing a song at all.
I know we're gonna do it next week. Any final statements? Anything? I'm waving to say like it's time to wrap it up.
Drink more beer. Or
I mean,
don't. I don't care.
Yeah, take care. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Peace.
Au revoir.